give permission.
Sure. All right, and I'm gonna share my screen. All right, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? All right, perfect. So welcome to our January 2026 Mommy Meetup Support Group. And sometimes I've gotten to the point where I just say support group because there's so much information that's open to our dads and our grandparents. So if you are here and you are a parent or you just here for the information, welcome. This is a support group that we do monthly, whether it's in person or virtual. This is a safe space offered by Shelter from the Rain. If you're not familiar with Shelter from the Rain, we're a 501c3 nonprofit here in Savannah, Georgia, that offers resources like baby supplies, household items, food. We have this support group, and then we also have a 6-month mentorship program that's designed to help mothers in the areas of career development, housing, transportation, childcare, mental health, and financial literacy. So this is just a piece of what we do as an organization to provide connection between parents, moms. So like I said, this is a place where hopefully you can come and feel supported, feel empowered. I know we're online, but we want to make sure there is a high level sense of connection here so you don't feel alone. Being a parent can feel very difficult, whether you're co-parenting, even married, like it can be hard because all of us experience it differently. Taking care of children can be very tough, no matter what your situation is. So we're here just to offer hope and support as an organization. All right, and we started about a year or so ago of having a quote of the day at our virtual meetups. So the one I chose for today is tomorrow is the first blank page of a 365-page book. Write a good one. So your new year can start at any point, even though we're almost at the end of January. Your new year can start on any day. Really, your mind is in charge of what your life will be like, no matter what your circumstances are. I learned that probably in my 20s that nobody else was responsible for my happiness. I had to do things to make sure my life was the way I wanted it to be, and not make anybody else responsible for that, no matter what I experienced. So just that positive thought. Each new day represents like a new opportunity to create the life that you want. So that's the quote for today. And as I mentioned, we always like to have a sense of community here, even though it's online. So if it's your first time, or even if it's not your first time, because you can put your information in the chat for moms who've never been here before. If you want to connect with other moms, other parents, you can put your first name and or last name if you want to, the ages of your children, your email or phone number, whatever you feel comfortable with here. That will not be online. The moms on this chat will see that. And then what your main need is. Do you just want someone for play dates for your kids? Do you just want a text buddy? Maybe you're at a place in your parenthood where you can't really meet, but you would like to text, maybe inspiring quotes or like positive things or things for the kids to do. You can just have a text buddy, whatever works for you. This is just really a system where we want to make sure moms don't feel alone even outside of this group. So anything that you need, you can put that need in there if it's just to connect, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for a child care facility, anything like that, that maybe a mom here could help you with. A lot of times, if you put what your need is, there'll be moms in this group that will list right there their recommendations in the chat. So put your name, ages of your children, email or phone or both, whatever you feel comfortable with, and then what you're looking for so other moms can connect with you. And then I try to collect those little information blurbs, and I will email just the moms that said they wanted to connect when this is over. So y'all will have an email with everybody's information in it if you want to connect and you missed it, or if you're on your phone and you couldn't save it. I'll email y'all. So make sure you add your email, even if you add your phone number, add your email so I can email everybody after this, because I just copy and paste all those emails in that email and send it to y'all. All right. And then other opportunities for moms to connect. After or in between these meetings, I always like to highlight Savannah on the Move. If you want a group to mix with health and wellness, you can bring strollers. You can walk or run. But they do different things. You can look them up on Instagram. And typically they exercise and then they go to brunch. So you don't have to do both, but if you want to do both, you can do both. But if you just want to exercise or just get out, you can look up and see. I know you're in that group, Elisha. Y'all meet monthly?
It's weekly, so it rotates. Every other Saturday is meet up at Forsyth Park and just walk the park. Some people run. And then on the other Saturdays, it's a meetup down by the Thompson Hotel. And that is like a walk around down River Street. And those Saturdays, there's brunch afterwards, optional,
Oh,
right? If
okay.
people want to go to brunch.
Awesome. Okay, so the Forsyth might be easier depending on how you like parking downtown. But both, depending on when they hit, might be options for moms here. Okay. All right. And the upcoming events, we are getting ready for our Motors for Moms car show. When we get closer to this event, I will send an RSVP. Any event that we do as an organization is always free for our single moms that we're serving. So y'all will have free tickets to the car show and access to different things at that car show. So like I said, we'll do an RSVP. You have to come to these support groups in order to qualify for that because we do give away free things. But that's an awesome show to go to for the kids too. If we have good weather, it's amazing because there's a play area for the kids. There's food. It's a really good vibe, and we moved it to Tanger Outlets and Pooler. So if you wanted to do other things after that, there's a lot of stuff to do out in Pooler, and there's plenty of places to park. Back there is behind Tanger Outlets, that area in between Tanger Outlets and the Highway 16. So, or not 16, that's uh what is that? The highway right where you get off for the
Oh,
airport.
95.
95. Thank you. I'm horrible geographically. Do not let me give you directions. Okay, but yeah, so it's very easy to find. They have events out there all the time. We do this. This is probably, I think, our seventh year, maybe. I'm not even sure. We've been doing this for a while. Last year was the first year we added the Wing Fest. So for people who are not as into cars and motorcycles and trucks, if you like to eat like me, there is a chicken wing festival. I love chicken wings. So we will have judges judging the cars and the motors, and then we'll have judges that judge the chicken wings. Last year, 520 won the people's choice. No, 521 the judge's choice, and then Williams won the people's choice. But they were all kind of like all of them are winners in my book. I love chicken wings, so everybody was good. So you can come out, you can help vote, you can have an area for the kids to play in. That can also be a mommy meetup if you meet a mom online here. That might be a place y'all can connect in person. All right. And today, our focus is Mindset Reset with Ilesha Graham. She is not only absolutely amazing and the owner of the Good Life brand, but she is also a co-chair on our board of Shelter from the Rain. So she not only is amazing in her own right, but she also works very, very hard behind the scenes, making sure all the things that we do for you all happen on a level of excellence, because we really do, like, you may not see everybody behind the scenes, but there are a lot of people who are very intentional about ways that we can help you, ways that we can enhance your life as an organization, and how we can support you as parents. So Ilesha Graham is one of those people. So on a variety of levels, she is team Shelter from the Rain. All right, and then next month, we'll focus on literacy awareness with Corey Frazier of Easy as Pie. Some of y'all already know him. He's presented before, and then he also has that virtual tutoring service that we partner with. If you are in need of virtual tutoring services, email me, please. When you do the survey, you can add that to your survey. because we'll do a survey at the end of this if you're interested in that, because we do have funds to cover a certain number of virtual tutoring sessions if your child needs help in any area. They do it virtually though. So if your child needs help in person, we don't unfortunately offer that right now, but they have tutors that can help with anything virtually because their company has moved. They're not based in Savannah anymore. I think they're closer to Atlanta now, but with virtual companies, it really doesn't matter. So if you do need that, please add that to your survey, or you can just email me right now and just put, like, I'll probably get back to you next week, but just email me and just say, hey, I'm really interested in the virtual tutoring. And then we can get y'all connected. All right. So, like I mentioned, the Mindset Reset with Ilesha Graham is our focus today. She is the founder of the Good Life brand. During this time while she's presenting, just make a mental note of the new things that you learn because we love to hear about what you learned, what was helpful for you. We never want to bring topics that are not of interest or not helpful. So we're very intentional about who we bring to speak because we really think it's going to enhance your life in some type of way. And then, like I said, our next meeting is February 21st. And that will be literacy awareness and talking about how you can connect with Corey with the virtual tutoring. Does anybody have questions before I end the announcements for Shelter from the
I
Rain?
have a question.
Yeah,
Do you have to register for every meeting?
yes.
Okay.
You do. So that page where you register for this meeting, you can go ahead and register the one for Corey. It's right below that. After today, I'll take off the January registration, but registration is always that same link. It's that shelterfromtherain.com/RSVP. I haven't changed it in like 8 years. So people are like, what's the new information? It's the same link we use every year. You go to the same link. But yeah, you do have to register. That's a great question for every support group, and then you have to register every time you need baby supplies or household items. So every month that you need baby supplies or household items, you need to request that online. We approve it based on your attendance to these groups. So like if a mom has been coming, but if she doesn't come to support groups, she doesn't qualify for the giveaways at the front porch. And right now is a great time to sign up for the giveaways at the front porch, and you being here already qualifies you. So if you're here right now attending a support group, you qualify to come and get household items, baby supplies, food, and right now we have gift cards to Kroger and to help with perishable items. So we'll give non-perishable items like the canned goods, the cereal, whatever, but we're also giving $100 gift cards for you to go get items that are perishable, like your meats, your veggies. A lot of the support that we got at the end of last year when there was that SNAP delay gave us the opportunity to help families more with getting food. So make sure you do the survey today. I'll put that link in the chat, and then you can also go on our website. I think it's the first slider at shelterfromtherain.com. It says help for home, and you can request what you need. And if you don't get a response from us within like 3 or 4 days, send me an email because for some reason, some phones, it doesn't come through to us, but you should see within a week a response from us. But if you don't see it, or you can just come by on a Wednesday. If you came to the support group today, come by on a Wednesday between 10:30 and 4:30 at the front porch on Abercorn. Our offices are at 2203 Abercorn Street inside of the front porch. If you came to this group today, you already qualify. We would just have to get you to fill out a form so we know what you need. But you can just come on a Wednesday and we will help you even if your form didn't come through. All right. Any other questions?
And where are y'all located? One more time.
It's 2203 Abercorn Street. It's on Abercorn in between Victory and 37th Street, but it's inside of the front porch. The building is called the front porch, but I always give the
Oh,
address
okay.
because people think it's not the comedy place. A lot of people go to the comedy place on Victory. It's not front porch improv. It's the front porch on Abercorn Street. That building is a building that serves at-risk youth. There's several nonprofits there. We work with the juvenile court system. So that's why I said we help moms, we help dads, we help family, kinship families, families that take in children due to circumstances with the family. Because we work with the juvenile court system, there's a lot of different family dynamics that come to us. So we're in that building. Our diaper bank is in that building. Our pantry's in that building. That's where our moms come on Wednesdays to pick up things. So if you miss that, you can always email me. I'll send you the information. Or if you sign up for Help for Home, all that information will be in your approval email as well. These are great questions. Anybody have any other questions before we get started?
I had a question. It kind of slipped my mind when you told me months ago, but I wanted to know if you ha are still doing Goodwill vouchers. And I believe you said if we donate something to Goodwill, there's like a form. I forgot the
Yeah.
information for that.
We do. So we are still doing Goodwill vouchers. Those are based on availability. So, like you said, if someone donates to Goodwill, there's a card on our website. If you go under About Partnerships, it's the first one. If you put, you can just print those out on regular sheets of paper. If you put that card on every bag that you donate to Goodwill, which I'm about to do shortly because I got to get rid of some clothes. If you put one of those cards on every bag or one of those paper, just staple it to every bag with our name on it, Shelter from the Rain. They will donate. Usually they're like $5, $10, sometimes $20 vouchers for us to give out to our moms. But if people aren't doing that, then we don't have those vouchers. So that's very helpful if you donate to Goodwill and put our cards on there. If they don't know what you're talking about, because some of the managers don't know about this program, take a picture of your donation with those sheets on it and then email it to me, and I can send that to the headquarters to Michelle, and she will send me the vouchers because I'll just say, hey, we had a donor go to this location. I just want to make sure we get credit for that. So even if they don't know, just take a picture of it, email it to me. You can still give it to them. Just make sure I have a picture of it so I can follow up with their headquarters about it. And those are great questions too. I'm not sure if we have some in the diaper bank right now, but if you come, just ask and we'll look. If we have them, we'll give them out. If we don't, then we just have to wait until they come in from donations. And those you can go get whatever clothing, whatever you need at Goodwill, you can shop for free based on whatever amount are on those vouchers. Any other questions? These are all great questions.
Jen, quick question. Is that only in Chatham County or Effingham as well?
That's great.
I just want,
Yeah, that's a great question too. It's a Southeast Georgia
okay,
program, so you should be
okay.
able to give to any Southeast Goodwill. But yeah, like I said, if you have any trouble, just take a picture and I'll send it to Michelle. But it should be any Southeast Georgia Goodwill. And you can call before you go to see again, or you can email me if you tell me which one you're going to go to, and I can just ask Michelle. Because like I said, some of the managers, if they're new, like that's not something they go over in orientation about this program. So they might honestly not know what you're talking about. If they're not being rude, they just maybe have not been informed about this program. But yeah, just let me know if you have any trouble, but it should be in Southeast Georgia Goodwill. Any other questions? And I think the only other thing I didn't mention was the mentorship program. If you did sign up for that, we will be interviewing in March. I'm going to try to make sure we send an email by next month in February about that coming up. But we should be, once we get our new program coordinator settled, she starts the first week of February. We're going to start contacting individuals for the 2026 mentorship program. You can sign up for that now if you're interested. That's 6 months. We interview you for that program, so you don't just get into that program. We interview moms for the mentees, and then we interview the mentors who work in that program as well. So that's the biggest program that we have. You can get a lot of assistance in that program, but you have to register. That's under our programs on the website as well. You can also email me and I can send you a direct link if you can't find it. But I think that's everything we have upcoming for the first quarter and second quarter of this year. And like I said, if you have any other questions, you can put them in the chat, or you can save them for the end of the meeting. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing and hand it over to Ilesha.
All right, thank you, Jen. As I kind of switch over into my deck, since we are talking about mindset, and Jen started off saying one of the things that she does is keep a record of things that she's grateful for. I just say, if you can in the chat, just put one thing that you are grateful for today. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be, like she said, I am just grateful that it's not snowing today, or I am grateful for that cup of coffee I just had, or whatever it is. It does not have to be a big thing, but I think if we like really just, like you said, like frame our thinking in a positive direction, and you'll hear me say this multiple times, I'm not into like toxic fake positivity, but like just things we're really thankful for. And sometimes it is just small things. So if you drop that in, I'm gonna open up my slideshow and get that ready, and then share my screen. So I'll get us there. All right. So hopefully y'all can see that okay. And then I'm going to also open back up the chat because I want to see what you all are saying in there. Grateful for life. Yep, being alive. Praise God. Woke up, good health, no snow, and a warm house. Yes, babies, fur babies, life, family, kids, not giving up. Yes, no snow and good health. That is beautiful.
Hi,
Because
Steve. I love this.
yeah, grateful for having a place to stay. Like there are, just we know that we are just in a very interesting, to say the least,
Yeah.
time. And so we can just always like anchor ourselves in things that we have to be grateful for. I think it just helps to balance out the hard times. And so today we're going to be talking about that just in terms of we do all have things, do-overs. You have second chances. We do all have things to be grateful for, even in the hard times. But sometimes when we've gone through the hard times or we're going through the hard times, it is very easy to get like really just down about that, or that becomes like the story we're telling ourselves all the time about like the hard things. And maybe it's messages that we have heard before that just keep replaying in our head. And so we're going to talk about today just really having the courage to change your story, the story that you're telling yourself about your life, your possibilities, your future, even just who you are, because it starts with shifting our mindset. Like our life doesn't change until our mindset changes first. And so we're going to talk about that, even if you feel like, oh my gosh, today is January 24th and I feel behind. There is no behind. Like I tell people all the time, my new year starts February 1st. Like I make no apologies. January is just like me trying to get myself together. And there's nothing magical about January 1st. You could pick any day, as that quote said, any day can be day one. So we are going to really just be thinking about how the stories that we're telling ourselves, and then how do we shift that so that our behaviors and our life can align in the way that we really desire it to. So one, thank you all for being here today, for arranging your schedule and taking time out. And the fact that you're here today already tells me a lot about you. It means that you are somebody who is looking to shift things, to improve your life, to just continue moving in a positive direction. So I'm hoping to support you with that today. So, a little bit about me. My name's Ilesha Graham, and I tell people this because when you look at the spelling, it is very tricky. But just think elated, Ilesha. That's how people remember. I am typically pretty upbeat. I tell people I'm pretty elated about life. So, that is me. I do work as a leadership consultant. I have my own company called the Good Life Brand, and we a lot of times work with corporations, nonprofits, hospital systems. I say like organizations that are looking to do good for the people they serve, and we really help them working with their teams and their leaders so that when they're inside their work, they're experiencing a good life at work. Because sometimes work is hard, and my mission is to help leaders to make work feel better for people. So we really work on culture and impact. But today, I'm not here as a leadership consultant or a speaker. I'm here talking to you as someone who has sat in your shoes, who's a single mom, really just like juggling all of the things. And about 30, oh gosh, I'm going to age myself, but over 30 years ago, actually. I was a single mom and I was in college. I had a toddler at home. This is my oldest, Kai, and I was trying to work. I was trying to, raise a child by myself and trying to go to school. And I just had this constant message that was in my head all the time around just feeling like I was constantly failing, that I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't sure that I could actually balance and juggle all the things. Can I really go to school? Can I really work? Can I really, can I be a mom? And then message just thinking about like who am I to even think that I could? Like I had dreams, but I wasn't sure that I could ever live them out. And I just felt like I was behind everybody else who was my age. And so I just had these stories that were replaying over and over and over in my head. And I remember like very specifically, like I would go to work and then go to school and then like, come home and like trying to do all the things, study and cook dinner and play with my kid. But I remember this one time I was sitting in the parking lot, kind of in between work and school, and I was just sobbing, like just tired. I was frustrated. I felt like I was just dropping balls everywhere. And like I said, I felt like I was failing as a mom. I was failing as a student because I felt like I couldn't keep up. I wasn't focused at work. And I was just so tired. Like if you can, probably relate to that, just being really just exhausted. And, it's like I had to really step back and take stock of what do I want and how can I better like just manage a lot of these things. And I realized a lot of that everyone else was telling me about being a single mom, that, single moms are always struggling. We're always behind, that we're less than. And I think because I was a young mom in school and people would say things like, oh, you're never going to finish school. You may as well give it up. Everything you thought you were going to be, you need to get a different plan. And so it's like all of those voices were so loud and parts of it felt true. And I realized I could either believe everything people that were saying about me, or I could decide that I was going to write a different story for myself. And instead of seeing being a single mom as a disadvantage, I could look at it was a way that I actually was becoming stronger because I was building more skills, more resilience than other people my same age or who were juggling the same things. And so I really felt like choosing to change my story or the story I was telling myself about my circumstances was the biggest thing that began to shift things in my life. Because immediately, no, my circumstances didn't change. My bank account didn't change. My marital status didn't change, like the lack of support. But the story that I was telling myself gave me like the encouragement to believe something different. And what I've come to know, like I ended up shifting my major. I shifted my major to psychology because I really wanted to understand like this whole, like, how does the brain work and mindset work? And really studying, recognizing that our mindset is the first thing that changes because our actions change based upon our beliefs. If we don't believe a thing, we won't do a thing. We won't pursue a thing. And so your mindset is really the first thing that begins to shift for you, even before the circumstances shift. So we're going to talk about that. Um, and so kind of like shifting this back to you, every single one of us has a story that we are telling ourselves right now. Stories about who we are, what we're capable of, whether or not we belong. Some of those stories lift us up, but some of them are actually holding us back from the success and the life and the joy that we are absolutely capable of achieving. So today, in the time that I have, we're going to just really begin to uncover what are the stories that you're telling yourself that are limiting you. And what is that kind of costing you in terms of your future? And then how do you begin to rewrite your own story? Like, what are the tools and strategies? Because I love a good inspiration, but I believe like you got to have tools. If you walk away and you just feel better, but you don't have a way to actually be thinking better, then I have failed. Um, and so that is and thank you for sharing, Magdalena. Like, that is what we're going to talk about today. And so let's jump in. All right, so here's the thing I just want to say too, that sometimes we're telling ourselves stories and we don't even realize them. They're like running on repeat in the background, just like a soundtrack. You ever like find yourself humming a song and you're like, I don't even remember hearing that song, or I didn't even realize like I was humming that song. And sometimes that's how those stories are, like without us even like consciously aware. We are rehearsing those things and they're powerful. They shape what we try, what we avoid, how we should show up, what's possible. And so first we're going to like kind of tune in to some of those stories, turn down the volume a little bit while we're here together, and then just really look honestly at what are those stories. I'm going to share some of the ones. You can let me know if any of these are familiar to you. You can just put something in the chat, me too, or agree, or relatable, whatever feels comfortable for you. But number one thing I used to always feel was like I'm behind everyone else. Like everybody else's life is moving ahead much faster than me. I used to think like I should be able to be juggling all of this, but like must be something wrong with me because for some reason I can't seem to get it together. I used to feel a lot of guilt, like I'm spending too much time away from my daughter because I'm trying to work, I'm trying to go to school, and that really like kept me stuck a lot. I used to always also feel guilty. I'm selfish for wanting to go to school. I'm selfish for trying to do like continue to chase the things that I want to do. This is too hard. I'll never get ahead. Or everyone around me is doing better than me. Um, and I'm just wondering, like, if any of those you've also felt, or some version of that as well. Because one of the things I think too, sometimes we feel like we're the only one who's feeling this way, and you realize, no, other people who are navigating similar circumstances. So thank you, Jamaica, for sharing. Yes, me too. Sometimes we're feeling a lot. And so, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you are able, I actually have a little worksheet we're going to go through. I'm going to drop it in the chat. It's going to ask you to make a copy. So, when you click it, it's going to say make a copy. Just hit the button and it's going to open up into a Google Doc. So, you can type into your own doc. Nobody else is going to see it. If you're on your phone or your computer, you can do that. Otherwise, I can still ask Jen to email it out and you can go through it at your own leisure. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just take a minute or two and write down the top two or three stories that you were telling yourself most often. And these are the stories that you think are probably holding you back. So the ones that play on repeat, this is just for you. You do not have to share this out. So I want you just to be really honest. But here, like, what are the top two or three stories that you're telling yourself that you think are, and it says student and parent just because that was kind of where I was, but it doesn't have to be student, just whatever makes sense to you. Um, See, Google Docs, you can edit in real time. So, what do you feel like it's costing? What's the story you're telling yourself? So, just take a minute or two. And so as you're writing that, just think about that the stories that you're telling yourself, they're like the scripts that are directing your life. You think about a movie script, like it directs the movie, right? We can really rate a movie, whether it's good or bad, a lot of times by the script. And so the stories that you are telling yourself are directing your life. They determine, like I said, what you try, what you don't try, what you believe you deserve, what you think is out of reach. If your story is I'm behind everyone else, it shows up every time you show up at work, right? If you're at school, the way that you interact with your family, the way that you interact with friends, because you already are feeling like you are somehow behind or not as good as other people. So they do direct our life. But the good news is your script can be rewritten. We didn't choose our story, right? But some of the things that we are telling ourselves, they might be things that family has spoken over us. They might be things that society has said. They may have come from hard experiences, but you don't have to keep the negative script that's running. So, um, if in that script um, that you wrote those two or three things, if anything you wrote down was connected to either not being good enough, feeling guilty, or feeling behind, will you just put me in the comment? I'm not going to ask you to put exactly what you said, trying to keep this really safe. But if any of those, I'm behind, I'm not good enough, I'm feeling guilty, or I'm just like, this is just really, really too hard. Yeah. And I thank you for just being, yeah, I think one, honest with yourself, but willing to share here. And also just knowing like you're not alone. Sometimes you feel like, gosh, it must be me, but it's not you. It is just life can be hard, right? Society has really put a lot of, I feel like, negative messages about single motherhood that aren't necessarily true. And, even though, and so just so like we have had shared experiences and we're all navigating. We're all navigating this together. And so I hope you really also would just lean into the community that Shelter from the Rain provides, just support you through all of these stages. And so the next piece I want to look at is like, what are the things that maybe these stories are keeping you from pursuing? Um, so, is it costing you sleep? Is it costing you joy? Are they costing you relationships, your peace, your self-worth, opportunities, confidence? What types of things do you think that now that you sit back and think about it, what is that story costing you? And so, part two, like, the cost. And so just take a moment here and just put in there what are those limiting beliefs or that story that you're telling yourself. For me, a lot it was opportunities. I didn't do a lot of things because I just didn't feel worthy. Definitely confidence and any type of joy or happiness. Uh, and so just take a moment and name two or three things. What might it be costing you to keep holding on to that story? And if you feel comfortable, you could put one of those in the chat. Again, I want to be sure it remains safe and only share to the extent that you feel comfortable. Pride. Yes, pride is huge. Yes, just feeling good about yourself is huge. And I think sometimes, depending on like your background or how you were raised, it almost can just feel like people tell you, right, don't brag, don't think so much of yourself. But no, you know what? Like, brag on yourself. Feel good about yourself. Because if you don't, like, who else? Like, you can't expect somebody else to feel better about you than you feel about yourself. So,
And self
Yes.
self-worth is such a big one, and I don't think you realize until you get older and you're very intentional about it, like doing the work on realizing where you are in terms of your
Yes.
self-worth. Because I had to work on myself in that area too, and acknowledge some things that had happened that may have damaged my self-worth. Because
Mm.
I'm a PK, so I'm the daughter of a pastor, and I got pregnant with my son at 16. So there was a lot of shame that happened within the church, and I don't think I realized how that affected me until later. Things that happened when I was a teenager, like I couldn't be a debutante because I had a baby, and it was like
Yes.
that whole idea of you're not good enough, like to do these things now. I had to
Yes.
address that because I was like, it was affecting me in ways I didn't realize. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
addressing like therapy, working on different things, being around people who can help you rebuild what you believe about yourself, and what you allow to affect your self-work. But that's huge. What you think about yourself, like Elisha said, affects everything else.
Everything. Everything. And I think it is, like you said, just that even that first place of the stories that you tell yourself about yourself and how do you begin to shift that? Like I am a sticky note person. And so I have like I will make like little affirmations, girl, all the colors, right, about myself and put them on my mirror. I have them on my laptop.
Me
I
too.
right like sometimes even on my screensaver,
Oh,
on
I
my
even have one right
phone.
here, Elisha. I
Yeah.
have one that says you're doing great, Jen. Because you
Yeah.
tell yourself that.
Just every day, right? Looking at it like you are doing good, girl. Yep, vision boards. Those things are so powerful because we have to keep reminding us ourselves or just how dope we are. Like no matter like you just have to like clap yourself up.
And we did not plan that, just so y'all know. We did not plan that whole sticky note thing. That just happened.
Yes, indeed. And if I could flip my camera, you could see they're like seriously all over my monitor because like I have to remind myself. I have to remind myself. So one of the things too, when we are limiting ourselves, like you said, we begin to lean into those same actions. And so when I'm feeling like I'm behind, it shapes how I interact. I might not ask for help. I might not pursue opportunities. I might not speak up. If I think I'm taking opportunities away, like I don't, even when I'm accomplishing things, I feel guilty, right? So I don't savor my accomplishments. I don't cheer for myself. And so we really want to begin to shift that. So we're going to talk about, oh, it's going in the wrong way. One thing I want to ask you, like, I want you to just hold this belief that the story that you're telling yourself is not true. And I don't mean like the facts, but I mean the story that you tell yourself about it. So if you were having this feeling that yes, I am a single parent, but if you said it because I'm a single parent, I am behind or I'm not as good as, or right, like I don't have a lot of self-worth. What if you change that story? It's like, because I am a single mom, I am more resilient, right? I'm developing more skills than other people around me. That being a single parent is actually my superpower because it is causing me to like really lean into areas of myself that I would not have. And so the fact doesn't change, but the story that we're telling ourselves about the fact is the difference. And so research has said, right, because I'm a single parent, I am strong, right? Like we have to really think about what is the story that we tell ourselves about the situation. Research actually says that single parents can actually develop a growth mindset. And this is what we're talking about, right? Like continue to grow the way that we think about things, to change the way that we think about things. But we can actually develop that like growth, that positive mindset faster than partnered or traditional parents because we are already in this space of learning that we can do hard things. We are learning to adapt faster. And so we actually are at an advantage, but no one tells you that, right? People always layer on all the disadvantages, but you are all also at an advantage because A, like I said, you've already learned you can do hard things. So when you encounter certain challenges, like lean into that, like, oh man, I can do this because I am, because as a single parent, a single mom, I'm already doing hard things and I realize I can. Or I know I can adapt to challenges and change and I can pivot because this is part of what I do all day long. And so these are actually things that are advantageous. And so you think about like your parenting skills are your superpower. They are actually things that can cause your brain to grow and to be able to pivot and to be able to really lean into a more positive mindset. So if I can give you one story, right, we are multitaskers. To reframe is that your parenting skills, your being a single parent is actually a superpower. It is not a deficit, as people will try to tell you all the time. So I want to share with you just one quick story, and then we'll give you some additional tips. We're going to talk about reframing. I'm also a clock watcher because the teacher in me is like, okay, I got to be on a certain time. But there's a story about these two twin brothers. They were in Russia. They were abandoned at a very young age, so they were unhoused. They really grew up on the street, like in really hard circumstances, like literally had to get their meals out of a garbage can. Like they were foragers, they lived in the street, they were, um, I mean, just really in very difficult circumstances. And then they ended up getting, when they were teenagers, they were brought into like this shelter, um, a shelter, like a homeless shelter for young people. And then from there, one of them went on to graduate from high school and then went to college and started his own business, was very successful. The other one was ended up just like life of crime, in and out of jail, just really never got his life together. And they were both kind of later in life, they were on this TV show because what the topic was about, like they had the same biology, they're twins, they had the same early experiences, but yet their lives went in very different directions. And so the interviewer asked them both, like, why do you think that happened? And the one who had gone on to have his business and stabilize his life, he was like, well, look at my upbringing. Like, what do you think I would go on? Like, that motivated me. Like, my upbringing is what caused my life to like be the way it is. And when they asked the other brother, so why did your life turn out this way? And he said, well, look at my upbringing. Why do you think my life would turn out this way? So both of them have the same experience. One of them used it as a way to empower himself, and one of them used it as a way to just continue to like hold on to that story and continue to really have a difficult life. Same experience, but the story that you tell yourself is what will actually change your future. So I just want you to hold on to that. It's not the facts that change, but it is the story that you tell yourself. So time to shift. So how do we begin to shift into this new way of thinking? I love frameworks. I love trying to like acronyms. So shift actually stands for see your story, honor the truth, imagine what's possible, frame your news story, and then take one action. So I'm going to walk you through this kind of quickly. It's in your worksheet, but we are going to go through and really start creating a news story. So one is seeing your story clearly. So we already started doing that, like what's actually happening. So give yourself one sentence for, and this is that negative story that you're telling yourself. And so here was mine. I'm a selfish mother for going to school instead of spending every moment with my child, and I'm going to damage her because of my choices. That was the story that I was telling myself. So what is the loudest story that you feel like is keeping you stuck or that makes you feel less than, that is impacting your pride, your peace, that thing that you named. So one sentence, um, and it should start with I am or I can't, right? I am or I can't. All right, give me a thumbs up or something in the chat if you have your one sentence. If you say done, have it, thumbs up. I know most of you are off camera, so you might have to put a little reaction or in the chat.
And we're on part two, right?
We are under this, yeah, part three, the S.
Okay,
Write
okay.
your limiting story as one clear sentence.
Oh,
Thank you for asking. Perfect. All right. So your H is we're going to honor the truth without letting it define us. So yes, it is true that I have, this was my example. Yes, it's true that I have less time with my daughter than I would like, and I struggle with that. And that doesn't make me a bad mother or selfish, right? So yes, the truth is I was not there as much as I wanted to be, but it didn't make me a bad mother. So I'm shifting the story about being a single mom in college. So whatever that's your truth is, like, yes, I am, juggling five different things, or yes, I had a child young, or yes, my life is not where I want it to be, or yes, I'm not where I think it would be, and I'm still worthy, or and I am still valuable, and I am still work I am still going to pursue my dreams, and I'm still going to reach my goals. And right, so yes, the true part, but then also let's change what we think about that. So yes, it is true that whatever that truth is, and right? I am still worthy, or yes, and I am still valuable, and I am still going
An
to do those things.
inspiration.
Right. I am still an inspiration, right? So I want you to put this in, this is the H part, um, where I want you to begin to change the story that you tell yourself about your facts.
Yeah. And I'll just add a little bit here, Elisha. Sometimes, like, because I felt that way too, because, I was working a lot and it was just Jalen and I. But one of the things that he mentioned that he admired most about me as an adult was how hard I worked building my businesses. So I say that to say the thing that's making you feel the guiltiest might be something that could be inspiring your kids to
Yeah.
reach their dreams. So, revisiting that and stopping that narrative because
Yes.
you think it's bad could be one of the greatest things your kids see about you
Yes.
in the future. You just never know.
Yeah. And right, so your and could be, and I'm an inspiration, and I am a role model, and I'm showing my children how to still
Hard.
pursue your dreams, right? And so that's such a good point, Gia. Sometimes the things that we think are harming our kids are actually the thing that is um, inspiring them. Yeah. 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 So thank you. All right. I'm going to keep pushing just because. So, one, I want you to really sit with how it feels to reimagine or to shift that story. Like I feel like even as I say it, like I'm an inspiration, or I feel like it makes me feel better. And so when we begin to change the story, when we honor the truth, but we change what the meaning is, like it does help to shift our mindset. It helps to shift the way that we feel in our body. It helps to shift the way that we begin to pursue things. So, honoring your truth and shifting your story is really powerful. So now we're at the I. Imagine what is possible. So if I didn't believe that old story, what might you do differently? What might you pursue? What might you chase after? So mine was if I didn't believe that I was selfish and a bad mother, I might actually enjoy school and I might be able to show my daughter what it's like to pursue your dreams. Like if I stopped telling myself that I was bad and I actually, if I didn't believe that, what might shift for me in terms of my actions, my beliefs? And so this is the I part. This is the imagine what would be possible if I didn't believe my old story. What might I do differently, think differently, feel differently, achieve differently? How might I show up differently? I want you, and I know some of you are just like thinking it. If you at all have the power to write it right now, if you're in front of your computer, because when we physically tactile, write it, type it, it becomes more real. These are all of these like mindset tricks. I should say tricks, strategies, but it's one thing to have it in your head. It's another thing to claim it and actually that tactile piece of writing it, typing it, reading it will make it more meaningful. It will anchor it. So if you at all are able to, I'm going to ask you to type it in or write it down on a piece of paper. Um, so that's our agreement. All right. So we're imagining what's possible. We good? Okay. So that's the I. And here's the F part through the shift. Um, so this is where we're going to take it all together. We are going to reframe a new story, a new message, a new mantra, a new way of believing. And I'm saying not a fake story, not toxic positively, but a true story that empowers us instead of limiting us. So you're going to take that, we're going to expand that imagination and we're going to write a new story about what we are building, doing, having. So my example, so I always give you example first. I'm building a better future for me and my daughter. And this goes back to, like I said, I really had a lot of guilt and shame about going to school. And so I had to tell myself, I'm building a better future for me and her. I'm setting an example as a gift that I'm giving her. And my love for her is not measured in the hours that I'm physically present, but in the quality of our time together. And so I had to reframe all of those old stories and say, no, like this is actually building something. I am not being selfish. I am actually considering her as I'm trying to build something better, that it's not about just the hours, but I make sure that when I'm there with her, that we're actually having quality time. And so I want you to take a moment, and this one you might have to come back to. But if you could start at least a sentence or two, like what is the new story that you can start telling yourself about your worth, your life, your future, your goals, your dreams, that maybe you weren't holding on to before? And so here's just another example. If you're feeling behind, just say, I'm on a different path. It's teaching me resilience, it's teaching me time management, and it's teaching me determination that other people don't get. I'm not behind, I'm building skills that will serve me for life. And you can borrow that one if you want.
I
You
might
need to
have to
play.
borrow that one. I'm building skills that will serve me for life. That's all
Yeah,
experience. That's all experience is.
yeah, it sure is. It sure is. So think about how you can write a new story You're not behind, you're just on a different path.
Yeah. And there's so many different paths. If you research successful people, because I've read articles about people who were successful. Some of the people that you see, like they didn't become successful till later in life. Steve Harvey is a really good one. Tyler Perry, like Steve Harvey was sleeping in his car. There were several things that happened to
Are.
Steve Harvey, and he didn't hit success until I want to say 40s, 50. I'm not sure, but it was later in life.
Yeah,
But he went through a lot of different things before he became the man that we see on TV
yeah,
today. So good.
yeah. Tyler Perry talks about that. He was sleeping in his car.
Yep.
Yeah,
A lot of people, if you research their real stories, um, there was definitely things they had to overcome first, or things that now help them be like, to me, like the people who are successful that have stories like that, like it has more substance and it's
yeah,
more inspiring because it's like, wow, you came from something that was difficult.
yeah, yeah. So true. So true. And thank you, Jasmine. Yep, you're not behind. It's just different.
Yep.
Just a different path. And we're all have our own unique journey.
Yep.
I always say, like, none of this caught God by surprise. Like, I won't preach, but
You can preach.
but I just one of my favorite scriptures is right is Jeremiah 29:11, where God says, like, I know the plans that I have for you, plans for hope and a future. And so when we just and that just held me for so long, that none of this caught God by surprise. He knew he has a plan, he has a path. It is to give me hope. It is so I can hold on to hope, so I can have a good future, plans for good and not for bad. And right, all things are working together for my good. And so even when I couldn't see it, I was like, I just have to trust and believe that it is true because the word is truth. My feelings aren't true, or they're not truth. My feelings might be real, but
The
they may not be the
temporary.
truth. Right.
Right.
They are temporary. Right. And so just realizing, like, I'm just on a different path. I'm on a different path for sure. And so we talked about this. We want a story that is giving us energy and that is believable that we can hold on to.
Yep.
All right. So, um, anybody if you want to put in the chat, maybe a sentence or two about your new story, feel free to do that. And it's okay if you don't have it all the way finished right now. You might want to sit with it and think about it. It's okay if it feels like a stretch even to believe it right now, but I want to just encourage you to continue to rehearse it and to practice it, right?
Yeah.
Put it on a sticky note, put it on your mirror, get it on in a dry erase marker, put it on your mirror, put it on your screensaver. Yes, I have taken the pain of my past for the pursuits of my future. Ooh, I
Mm.
like that. I
Right.
like that. Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah.
So if you have, yeah, if you want to drop it in the chat, if you feel comfortable, if you want to hold it close to yourself, like I said, I never want to um, pressure folks to
Right.
share something so vulnerable
Yeah.
publicly. I will be successful. Let nothing hold me back. Having the faith, ooh, of a mustard seed, right? That's
That's all
all
you need.
we need.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, right? God says, just give me a little bit and watch how I multiply it. I'm a good mother no matter what. That's right. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Y'all gonna
yeah.
make me tear up.
I know. Mhm.
Oh, y'all are really just blessing. Y'all are
I
blessing
know.
me.
Right.
Yeah, we have so many messages. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. You can keep dropping them in. So
Yeah.
here's your T. So first we did the S, C, your story, H, honor it. I was imagine the possibilities. F was frame your new story. And T is take one small action. Because right as we begin to shift the belief, the way that we know is real is then we change our behavior. Ah, yes. Yes. I had to condense it because I had like a ton of stuff, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a lot of time. But one of the things I had put in there was like, sometimes the action is to like block folks out your life, right? Like for real. Like sometimes you got to block the haters. Like that could be the action. The next 3 days, I'm going to like evaluate my circle. And if somebody is not lifting me up, they got to go, right? 2026, we are not tolerating haters in our life, like for real. Love family from a distance. Sometimes you just got, right? Sometimes you got to go, get to stepping. So, so just commit to one small action. This is your T. So maybe you're going to speak up in class or work. Maybe I'm going to spend 15 minutes every day, whatever it is. I'm going to spend 15 minutes every day. Maybe it's five. Start small, right? 5 minutes every day, just reading my affirmations. Or I'm going to spend 5 minutes every day just in gratitude, right? I'm going to block. See, it is in these slides, right? I'm going to block whoever, right? And it is hard. Gosh, it is hard. And it's a lot of layers to my story, but there were family members. I won't say I had to block, but I had to create a little bit of distance, right? And I would just say, like, I have to love them from a little bit of more of a distance because they just weren't healthy for me. And so I could not heal with them being too close. Yep, I love that. Taking a few minutes and just writing what you're grateful for, right? I'm going to write my new story on my mirror and I'm going to repeat it every day. So, whatever you're small, take one action. And the reason I said the next 3 days, because if you wait too long, you will not do it. So, if you do it within the next 24 hours, even better. So, on your sheet under the T, whatever your action is, I want you to commit to it. All right. And then we'll celebrate because we have, like I said, we have walked us ourselves through the shift framework, really begin to shift our story, to have the courage to write a new story for ourselves, even if it flies in the face of everything that people or society says a bit about us. But I want you to celebrate walking through this. So as just to end, just remind you, one, you have everything you need, and you always did. Everything that you need is already deposited within inside of you. You are capable, you do belong, and you are building something so beautiful. And so enjoy your journey while you're on it. Um, and then changing my own story led me to, I did finish college. Took me a little bit longer. I finished. I got my degree and then I got another one and then I worked in education for a really long time. Now I have my own business. I never would have thought. And I really do love where I am. And I look back, this is now my oldest. She also has her degree now. And I have a younger daughter, Jalen Graham. No relation to Jennifer's Jalen Graham, but we have lots of points in it. And that was her at her graduation. And we're actually the very first in our family that we all have degrees. And my husband and I just celebrated our 27th
Yeah.
wedding anniversary. I'm old. You can't see this
You
great.
are not old.
I'm old. So all the things that you desire for your life, I just want to encourage you because changing your story really gives you back to yourself. And it helps you to be the woman that you've already been designed, crafted. You probably can't see, I have this little Wonder Woman charm, but it is a reminder of Psalms 139:14 that says, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So I am a wonder of a woman. And so I want to give that to you as well. You are a woman. You are a wonder of a woman. Your circumstances don't define who you become, right? It's just, you can look back to see how far you've come. But what will change is actually changing your story. And that will really define how your life goes. So thank you.
Hey, you talking about not making you cry. You gonna make us cry. I love that. Such an inspiration. So many beautiful things from where you were to where you are now, like all the things you want for your life, y'all. And it's so much power in writing it, saying it,
Um,
seeing it before it actually happens. I'm really big on like that. Look at some of the successful people you have. Muhammad Ali, he used to say, I'm the greatest before he was the greatest. He used to tell people, he's like, I'm the greatest. And people
Yep.
start believing it. You have to believe it first, though. And like, if you even look just at Elisha's life, like where she started, all the things she wanted for herself that you can actually physically see now, but they didn't start that way. That's the same thing for all of us. All the things that we want, they might come in pieces. I heard a sermon one time and said success comes in pieces. You might not get it all at once,
Yeah.
but you will get it. And before you know it, you'll look up and you're like, wow, this is all the things that I said I wanted, that I'm intentionally working towards and saying. If
Mm,
you say those things repeatedly, it's the same thing as the negative things. If you say those negative things repeatedly, that's what your life is going to look like.
yeah.
But constantly pour into yourself. We have a society that tears us down. You have to do the work to build yourself back up. That's nobody's responsibility but ours. We
Yeah.
have to do that for ourselves. And just being a part of atmospheres like this, making sure you're constantly, I have to do it for me too. Like this was helpful for me. Like I know I'm helping facilitate, but this was helpful for me too. Does anybody, I know we're getting really close to close. I'm going to put the survey in the chat. Please do the survey so we know, number one, was this helpful? Number two, I have attendance for you. And if there's anything else you want to mention about future support groups. But does anybody have anything they want to share, anything they learned, any specific thing that was helpful?
Oh,
Oh,
thank you,
Tiffany says
Tiffany.
she talks so gracefully and calmly. This meeting definitely gives off high frequency and peace. Oh, I'm late, but so far I love this Zoom. Oh, thank you,
Thank
Tiffany.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. Tiffany is one of our OG moms. She's super
Oh,
inspirational too.
thank you.
Anybody else want to say anything before we wrap up? But like I said,
Have more questions? Yeah.
I'm gonna put the survey link in the chat. Please do this. It's very quick for the new moms. It's not like a long survey. Oh, does she have a podcast? Oh,
Oh, I
oh, you might be manifesting something.
right, you might be manifesting because I've been asked this so many times. Like, do you have a podcast? You should do a podcast. I could listen to you talking. And so, like I said, January is my planning year. So maybe my planning month. So
Might be
maybe that's coming.
confirmation.
Maybe that
Or
is.
maybe
Thank
not
you,
yet.
Susan.
Maybe not yet. That would be real. That would be a dope podcast. Anybody else have anything you want to share? Something you learned, something, can somebody give like one thing they're gonna take away from today? One thing you're gonna start doing for yourself? Or maybe one thing you've already done, because some of those phrases are really good. If you even just hold on to some of those. Daily affirmations, yes. And if you have, I'm going to email the moms that put their information in the chat earlier that wanted to connect. If you want to connect, put your name, ages of your kids, your email, and like what your need is. But I'm going to email y'all. You could also, because we used to do this, I had a friend, we would text each other positive things in the morning. So it was like, I would give 3 things I was grateful for. She would give 3 things she was grateful for. That accountability, because sometimes you forget. Like I don't remember every morning to write that down. But if somebody texts me and is like, okay, these are the 3 things I'm grateful for, that's gonna remind me, oh yeah, let me think about what I'm grateful for. So you could even do that with the moms that you're connecting with too. All
Okay,
right.
I'm going to tell y'all a little secret, but I guess by the time this is published, it won't be a secret, so it'll be okay. So, I don't have a podcast coming, but I'm going to have a regular segment on WSAV. So, starting Monday, February 2nd. Right
Yay.
now, we're looking at the first Monday of the month, but we might do it every other Monday, but it will be a Mindset Monday that I will have a segment on there. The midday show is that starts around like 11-ish, I think.
Mhm.
So, but it will also be a replay on their site and such. So that is
Awesome. That's
coming.
perfect for you. Mindset Mondays. Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's kind of under wraps until it
Yeah,
launches,
yeah, yeah. It's
but
coming.
yes. So it's coming in about a week.
Awesome. I love it. And yeah, they would have to watch real deep into this recording to hear.
Right. And by the time
If
people
you
get
made it
there,
this far,
it'll already have happened. So it's all
and
good.
even if it hasn't, if you watched this session this far, you deserve to know that secret.
Right.
You deserve to know. Okay, Jasmine, I'm going to add you to the group of moms that want to connect. I'm going to email y'all when this is over. Please do the survey. I put the survey link in there. I'm going to start looking to see if they're coming through. That qualifies you for all the other stuff we have in person for the year. So please do the survey. And then if you do need household items, or if you do need that help at the grocery store, like I mentioned, please sign up for the Help for Home. I will be there this Wednesday, probably by myself because Andrea, we all have birthdays back to back. So Andrea's birthday is actually on Wednesday, then my birthday. And for the OG moms, if y'all remember Rodrika, her birthday is Friday. So we have back to back birthdays, but I will be there this week. If you need help in the diaper bank, in the pantry, if you need that support, I'm gonna try to see if I see any of these coming through. Okay, good. Um, well, no, not yet. Okay, if y'all are filling out the survey, let me know. If you completed the survey I just put in the chat, please let me know because some of them don't come through, and I want to make sure you get credit for being here. And if you are watching this, and it's within a week of us doing this, just email me and I'll also give you credit if it's within a week of missing the session. We will also give credit, and you can come to the diaper bank and the pantry. Just please do the survey at shelterfromtherain.com/survey. And then just contact me and we will get in contact with you. Like I mentioned earlier, before I end the recording, we will be meeting again in February to talk about literacy awareness. If your child is in need of virtual tutoring, please let us know. And then we'll just do a final thank you to Ilesha on camera. How special and grateful we are for you. When I thank God, I thank him twice for you, Ilesha. You are so amazing on so many different levels. So thank you so much for this awesome presentation and everything you do as co-chair, to lead this organization on a very high level of excellence. We're very, very grateful. Did you want to say anything else, Ilesha, before I close the recording?
Um, just thank you. Thank you all for being here, taking the time out of your day. And I just want to just continue to encourage you and just to speak life over you and just remind you that you have everything you need. It is all within you. You are worthy, you are capable, you are beautiful, you are strong. And, just hold on to that and, just continue to walk in the gift that you are.
I love it. This is why we need the podcast. This is why we need it. Okay, for everybody online, it's great to see you, and we'll see you later. Thank you for tuning in.